Spurs TV. Thank you for joining us today. This is Come On You Spurs TV, where we talk everything Spurs. We are reviewing the match between Tottenham and Everton. Ended up 2-0 to Tottenham. Goals from Harry Kane from the Sports and Pierre Emile Holjberg. Joining me tonight is Ben and Folabi. There are two guests on tonight's show. We will be with them in exactly 10 seconds. In the meantime, join us on the other side. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. If you're joining us for the first time, this is Come On You Spurs TV. Hit the like button or hit the subscribe button to get, and then you can also hit the button that says the notification bell button, which lets you know anytime we go live. Right, welcome back again. With me tonight, I've got Folabi and I've also got Ben. Ben, Folabi, welcome. How are you guys?
We're good. I'm good anyway.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, like I said, this is Come On You Spurs TV. Now, tonight's match, I mean, come away with 2-0. Everyone was saying, okay, maybe he should change the formation, play 3-5-2, have a five-man midfield and start Harry Kane and Son in front, but he chose to still rest Kulusevski. Now, in the end, I think it looks like, okay, we came away with two goals, right? But the first half was a little bit patchy. I mean, we started quite well, had quite a lot of chances, but Everton came and packed the bus. I mean, Folabi, what did you think?
Well, for the first 10 minutes of the game, good evening, everybody. For the first 10 minutes of the game, we had so much possession, we controlled the game and everything. And Everton were just ready to sit back. And as usual, we could not find a way to break that and penetrate and everything. Mm-hmm. And then, as usual, with any game, they started getting more and more confident. They started getting more and more into the game. We started sitting back a bit more. And I think we had the issue of, as usual, our wing backs not being able to get upfield quick enough and further upfield enough, to spread and to open them wide, spread Everton more. They packed the midfield and everything, and they came at us. They were ready to play the counter attack, and they had two very good breaks, two very, very clear breaks and good breaks in the first half. And in the first half, they had the better opportunities and two clear opportunities. And luckily for us, they both went above well over the bar.
I hear you. So I mean, we had those. But I mean, because if you look at the stats, at the first 20 minutes of the match, most coaches will tell you, or most teams will tell you that, look, as much as possible, you want to keep people away. You want to keep them away from your what's the word? From your back four,
Box.
and then you want to keep. Yeah. I mean, and then they managed to keep us away, and we just couldn't manage to break them down. It was like they came to pack the bus, as we say, Mourinho style, and they had us on the back foot for a lot of the time, Now, today we seem to have been able to overcome that in the second half, and I think fortuitously, because we had to change formation, because of an injury to Richarlison. Ben, what did you make of the first half?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before while we were off air. It was patchy, like you said in the first half. It was very patchy. I found myself doing a crossword puzzle during the match, which is unheard of. But it was getting a bit sleepy. But we got the first goal in there, and that was from the penalty, obviously, and that was brilliant. That got me alive. I think I started watching it properly from then on because it was cagey. Like you said, they parked the bus. There were blue shirts all over the place. They left the ball with us to play an hour and a half, and when they came. I think after we scored the first goal was when they came out a lot more. They came a bit more. It made the match a bit more open when they came out after we scored the first goal. But second goal was perfect. It was perfect because of the way that we like you said, fortuitously that he got the injury. I don't know. I mean, maybe he even forced the injury himself, but he forced the manager's hand. And once I saw Bizuma coming on for Richarlison, I thought, yep, he's he's tied that team down. We've got one goal, and now we're gonna open them up. And you see what happened. Who scored the goal? Pierre. Pierre was free because Bissouma was there with Bentancur. He was able to go and play the number 10 role, which he plays for Denmark really well. So he moved up there, had the freedom of the park, and just popped the goal into the net and gave a salute to our friend, the Marine, who passed recently. So it was good. I really enjoyed the match. For me, was as it should be. There shouldn't be too much drama. I think we have too much drama in our matches. We shouldn't have too much drama. We should just put them away, put them to bed, and carry the 3 points and just go and relax. That's what I think anyway. But no, all in all, it was a good match.
Yeah, I mean it was a good match. I mean from many perspectives. So we went into the second. We went into at the break 0-0. They had like Falabi said earlier on, they had that break with Demaria Gray, who essentially had a bad bounce and ball went over the bar. It was put off a little bit by Romero, thankfully. But yes, so that's kind of worked in our favor. However, I mean, if you let's even start. Let's have a look at the lineup at the beginning of the match. Okay, so we had what? We had in goal Loris, and I had in actual fact I did a graphic of the
yeah, go on, let's see that.
yes I did a graphic yesterday of the predicted lineup. I thought, okay, this might come off, and it looks like it did come off actually. Let me just try and find it while we keep talking. Right, so we had in goal Loris, and I think who else came in? I mean, I think then we had Romero, Dyer, as well as
Davis.
Right, so Davis came in for Longley from the Champions League match, and then we had on the right hand side Doherty. Doherty came in for Emerson, who's still suspended. Yes.
On fire, Emerson. Yes.
And then we had in the middle of the park, we had Holjberg and Bentancur. Now
the usual suspect.
The usual suspect, exactly. And then on the left hand side, we had Perisic. Now Perisic came in for Sessegnon. Now, this is what I thought we had as the lineup. Can we see this? Let me have a look. Okay, I think we can see this. There you go.
Up the Three Musketeers.
Surprise! Wow.
Yeah,
I don't even know how
that's a good lineup from yesterday. And yeah, surprise, we had Richarlison, Kane, and Son up front. Now,
wow.
So yes, I think that 3-5-3-4-3, it seems to be like Mr. Conte's preferred lineup. I mean, or preferred system. Now, Olabi, okay, so people have criticized Conte to say that look, he should be flexible. He shouldn't, he shouldn't always have this 3-5-3, 3-4-3 thing. I mean, and always show a bit of flexibility in matches. But I mean, I think it's served him well over the years, and it's inflexible for a reason because it's worked. What do you think?
No, I think Don Conte is actually flexible. He tries and tries and gives it all the time. Don't forget with Chelsea, he reverted to five in midfield.
Yeah.
So he doesn't always play this. He doesn't always play this formation. He doesn't always play this formation. And even in Italy, at some stages, he played with five in midfield. The thing with one thing about Don Conte is he loves his wing backs. He loves his wing backs, and that one, you know, is his DNA. Before anything else, is his wing. Is his two things are his DNA: his defensive formation, his defensive formation, and his wing backs. That is why, if you notice, and if you go through history, his wing backs often than not, Conte starts making substitutions from the 65th, between the 65th and 68th, 70th minute. He
Right.
starts making his set of substitutions
Mm-hmm.
because by that time he expects his wing backs not to be even able to walk. They should have exerted every ounce of energy in their bodies, and they shouldn't even be able to walk off the field. That is why, may his soul continue to rest in peace, he brought in the Marine to get the fitness level of our players to another level from what it was last season. You know, and this formation, don't be surprised if Conte does not stick to it. Don't be surprised if Conte goes with the three central midfielders for the next couple of few games.
All right.
What
So
people have been
our next
criticizing,
game is what? Away to? Are we home or away? I think we're home to. So we're away to Man United, aren't we?
we're away to Man United.
In the league, yes.
Yeah, we're away
On
to Man
Wednesday.
United. Yeah, and don't be surprised if Don Conte goes to a three midfield, three central midfielders.
He have to. He have
I will
to
not.
because we get
I
swapped.
will.
If you're
And
joining us
I
for the
tell you
first time,
something.
you can leave your comment in the comment section below. This is Come On You Spurs TV. Leave your comment section. Leave your comments, and we'll flash up your comments on the screen. And tell us where you're watching from, with your name, and yeah, Come On You Spurs. Now, so he's persisting with this system, and I've said this to people in the past. Like, look, Conte has his pattern of playing, right? He also believes very strongly that you may need to change stuff, but only when it's necessary for the good of the team, and it's necessary in the context of where you find yourself. And today was a perfect demonstration of that because it started with three up fronts with Richarlison, which for me would have been the perfect what you might call player in this sort of match, playing against his old team, home game, and it's always the motivation to try and score and do very well. Unfortunately, he had to go off with a calf injury. Now, so he was forced into making a change. Now, he had two options, or a number of options rather. Okay, he could either bring on Lucas to go in like for like, or he could bring in Bissouma or someone in midfield to make it the three-man midfield. And I think, for me, with the benefit of hindsight, he chose the perfect option of having Bissouma in the midfield and Kane and Son remaining up front. And I think that worked a perfect treat. Bissouma was today absolutely fantastic. What do you think, Ben?
Well, mate, what I think is a lot of people were screaming for Bissouma to come in previous matches.
Yes.
But we can see, and I think I know exactly what Conte is trying to do. He didn't lie when he said he wasn't up to defending strengths the rest of the team have, because as we know, Conte's formation works only when everyone's working the way he makes them work.
Absolutely.
You see how the commentators always talk about how disciplined our men are. They fall back into their lines of 3 and 4 or 5 and 4 and defend rigorously and then pump the ball forward. I think that in this case, he made the absolute perfect switch at the time. Richarlison went off. I think if Richarlison hadn't been injured, he still would have got him off because I think he was trying to soften these guys up and then afterwards beat them off with the addition of the new um, general of midfield, Bissouma. Bissouma was absolutely phenomenal today. Came in, did his job, and allowed Holjberg to go up there and put one in the net. I think this makes us unpredictable, to my mind. It makes us very unpredictable. We know that he can play the both styles, or he can get the players to play both styles. And it's a case of have they fully got the 3-4-3 under their belts? Can they play that in their sleep? If they can, then now's the time to be switching to having just two up front. And I think Tottenham has shown today that they've got the mastery of both systems, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, keep your comments coming. If you have any comments on your match and the match today on the scoreline, how do you think we did? And then obviously we've had comments from Tubosun. Tubosun says the irony is that having 3-man midfield actually makes makes better offensively because Bissouma frees Rodrigo and Holjberg to join the attack. I think that's what we just said exactly. Yeah, so that's I mean, it's like Ben, someone's been reading your thoughts, you know.
Well,
it's nice to know.
You know when Richarlison got his injury. If he had got it, this is where I said that when people were saying the first half was boring and everything, it's a very tactical move Don Conte made. And I'll explain myself. If Richarlison had got his injury, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. If Richarlison had got his injury in about 10, 15 minutes later than he got it, instead of bringing on Bissouma, I believe Don Conte would actually have brought on Lucas Moura. Because look, he didn't want that because he got his injury within the first 5-7 minutes of the second half. I feel Don Conte said that, look, to give Lucas Moura 45 minutes after being away since February for so long and everything would have been a bit too much. Because especially knowing the way Moura runs. Moura, whether you like it or not, whether he loses the ball or not, Moura will run with 100% energy and go into any tackle and everything.
Absolutely.
So, it was a smart move. He could have brought in Gil. But I think he could have brought in Gil because Gil, he himself said Gil was okay, performed quite okay against Frankfurt on Wednesday. But bringing on Bissouma changed the whole dynamics, as we've all said. He allowed to take it in turns, either Holjberg or the other one, what's his name?
Bentancur.
Bentancur.
Other two, Bentancur, to be able to be taking it in turns to going forward, and Bissouma to be just holding and back. And he protected the back three so well that in the second half, our wing backs were playing like wing backs. Persic played a great game. He played well today. Persic played well today. He showed his quality today, without a doubt. And as for Doherty, he was back to what he was before he got his injury at the end of last season. And if you saw when he came off, the hug Don Conte gave him. He stood there when he was shaking out the other people. He stood there and said, look, listen, I want to hug you. He put his arms out before Doherty was even ready to. The way he hugged him. Yes, he hugged Kane and everything, and he hugged the other players that came off as well. But the hug he gave, even the way, look at what he said to him, Doherty, in his ear. He said, this is what I expect from you, and this is what I want from you. Thank you. You read it. That's what he said to Doherty. And I just want to
Bless you.
Excuse me.
It's those
John Conte
cigars.
is not. Yes, he's not a stupid person. He's a very intelligent person, and he's a very wise and intelligent football manager.
Absolutely.
He is slowly bringing in these players that we've all been shouting that he should be playing and bringing them in. He's slowly bringing them in. Next few games, he will unleash mayhem on players. You see, in 3 games' time, after Man United, then we've got Liverpool at home and everything. Don Conte is looking at all these things. He's looking at, we're playing 2 games a week, a game every other day. When has Kane ever been brought off? Even if we're playing in 3 days' time. Off, straight into the dressing room, go and have a cold shower. Go and have a cold bath. Get those muscles relaxed and everything. Sleep well, back in training, light training, watch videos, watch the film of the game and everything, analyze. And I've got to say another thing. Quickly, Kane had a brilliant game. Apart from scoring the penalty, Kane, anybody dare tell me Kane does not have skill? Just watch this game.
Absolutely. I thought. I mean, he wasn't much. He wasn't man of the match for no reason. I mean, he played an absolute blinder.
Exactly.
You know, I think if you look at the move that led to the second goal, you know, he more or less initiated that move. You know, and the cross from Bentancur was absolutely spot on. You know,
his pass to Bentancur, the way he waited and waited and waited, and the weight of the pass and the speed was Bentancur didn't do anything. It was all the weight from the Kane's pass that he just flicked it. And also Son's run.
Let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt this. I think I've got one of the enemies on the line. So Kane died for the penalty. Did he really? Even Pickford didn't complain. You know. I mean, Pickford had a howler, and Kane picked up the ball, and he didn't even touch the ball at all. He hit his man, so which was pretty straight up penalty. I mean, it was so as clear as day.
It didn't even go to VAR. What are you talking about?
There was no argument at all whatsoever. I mean, let's even talk through the penalty. You know.
Name one player from Everton side that came to complain about the penalty. Name one.
It goes. Twitter is a buzz about it. Everyone except our referee and commentators are well. I mean, maybe they were watching a different match. The match that we saw, I mean, had, you know, it was clear as clear as day. As clear as day.
You shouldn't even make that comment. You shouldn't even allow his comment to come on air.
No, he wanted to be. The guy wanted to be contrary. That's all. He just wants to make noise. Haters will be haters. Don't hate the freaking play. Don't hate the play. It's the game, Joe. It's the game.
It says England captain privileges, eh?
That's why he got a yellow card.
That's why he won a penalty.
That's why he got.
So the guy must be an Everton supporter.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think. Wale, do you want to tell us what team you support? I mean, I'm not sure. Are you a Spurs fan?
No,
it can't be. Imagine.
It can't be. I think if I remember, Wale is an Arsenal fan. I think if I remember, but I'm not quite sure.
Oh, no wonder.
Tell us in the comments if you don't mind. You know. But yes, I mean, I thought it was a penalty, as clear as day. And if you look at all the players in the match, I mean, none of the Everton players actually protested. Pickford had his eye. I mean, and it was like really distraught with himself because he needed.
Pickford will lie down for ground.
You know,
Pickford will lie down for ground after he pulled Kane to the ground. Now he lie down for ground, knowing that he was a penalty. He knows what he did. That's why he didn't bother to look up. He didn't look up once. He just lay down there thinking, begging God not to give penalty. They give out the penalty now again.
I know, right? So I mean, I think what we find is that, I mean, the match was, I mean, he just made an error. I mean, he could have kept that ball away or kept it, I mean, or held onto it, but he didn't, and he spilled it, and Kane latched onto it. He didn't get the ball and got Kane.
Kane was
make contact in the box, go down. objective gunner, he says. He's an objective gunner.
Is there such a
I'm
thing?
not sure
Is there
when
such a
objective
thing?
and gunner went in the same sentence, you know.
I don't even know. I don't even know how a gunner can be objective. They're never objective.
Well,
They're just
thank you
walking
for
around
joining
like,
us. You know, establishment no VAR. That's interesting. Anyway, keep your comments coming in. This is Come On You Spurs TV. If you be here for the first time, hit the like button, and if you need to get notified anytime we go live, click on the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Yeah, I mean, we kicked on from good penalty. Pickford dived in the right direction, but he had no chance holding onto that ball, you know, because it was so well struck. I think if you looking at the context of the match, right? At the last in the last match against Frankfurt, okay, Kane missed the penalty, and I'm pretty sure that was playing on his mind. You know, he said, "Look, I mustn't miss this one," and it was crucial because we hadn't scored a goal. We were having difficulty breaking them down because they packed. I mean, like they packed two buses, not even one bus. You know, they packed two buses, and yeah, I mean, next thing you know, we couldn't break them down. You know, so I mean, penalty came in handy at the right time. So and he had to score, and he scored it. I mean, I think he took it very well. You know, kudos to him.
na England privileges. Nine scored the goal. England privileges.
Look, don't forget one thing. One, Kane has missed 2 penalties this season already.
Absolutely.
And 2, Kane has had penalties against all 3 England squad players, goalkeepers.
Well, there you go. So this is Wallace saying that he fell into Pickford and flapped his legs up. Oh well, Pickford held out his hand. You know, hey. Anyway, that's as simple as it gets. You know, I mean, if the shoes were reversed, I mean, I'm pretty sure your striker would have done the same thing. You know. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, great goal.
Forget the guy.
Yeah, a good goal, and then we second. I mean, within it was edging towards the end, and okay, Everton needed to come out a little bit and play, and they began to lose places at the back, which. I mean, Kane in his usual free roll, marauding from the front of our box, freed up Bentancur on the right hand side. Crazy cross from Bentancur right into the lap of Emile. Now Emile still had work to do. You know, he cut back on the defender and placed it. And you know, I think what pleased me the most was the fact that it came off Iwobi. You know. Went into the net. Yeah. So yeah, that was quite pleasing, you know. But yeah, keep your comments coming. This is Come On You Spurs TV. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on we're talking live on YouTube actually. Yes, we're live on YouTube. So yeah, we look forward to your comments and yeah, please join us and. Yeah. So next, what happens next? We go 2 up, and it's like towards the end of the match we have I think about 7 or 8 minutes to go, and we had this passage of play when we were trying to make a substitution. In fact, 3 substitutions, right? But for about like 6-7 minutes, they couldn't even get the ball out of us. You know, so. It wasn't until I don't know who had a little problem before they actually kicked the ball out, and then they had guys come on. So I mean, I think he wanted to make the changes, but he was playing so well. I thought we had the game so much under control. I mean, even though they made it difficult for us, it was a hard-fought match, but I'm not sure we were threatening as such throughout the whole match. Falabi, what do you reckon?
Throughout the whole match, we were not threatened. We had the game. The most we were threatened, if you could say we were threatened at all, was in the first half. Because in the second half, excuse me, they didn't even have any possession. And in the first half, even the possession they had, they didn't even. And how many times did they go into our box?
They had no shots on goal. Absolutely
in
no
the
shots on
second
goal.
half. They had no shots on goal.
At all.
They didn't go into
At all.
they didn't go into our box. They were always
Some.
passing either sideways or backwards. You know, that's why I was quite, even though I was still a bit reserved and a bit nervous, but I was a bit relaxed when Sanchez came on. You know, we were already 2-0 up. We were controlling the game. And I'll tell you something. Our fitness level, which people are not even looking at, our fitness level is beginning to tell and show on opposition. In these last 10, 15 minutes of games, when our fitness level is now coming into play because they can't match it. They can come for us in the first 15, first 45, first 60 minutes. After 65, 70 minutes, 73, 75 minutes, our fitness level takes over.
I think you fit on something there, Falabi, and I'm sure I'm going to say something now that might. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think about it before, but maybe it's a good thing I wasn't thinking about it. But do you remember seasons gone past? Not just Tottenham, but other teams that are playing Champions League usually suffer in the midweek game. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we usually
Absolutely.
suffer
They
the game
suffer. They
after
suffer.
the Champions League.
They suffer.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Absolutely.
that's not happening this season. It's not happening at all, and it's because we got two teams. You know, it's because we got two
Mm-hmm.
teams, and the level of our team doesn't drop when we swap people out, which is exactly what Conte, which is what the Dom wanted. He wanted a team
And that is
that could
why
play in
he was
Champions
not
League.
playing. Sorry to cut you off. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So you're right. He now has two teams that he can play without the level dropping between matches, and so I think he's trying to make sure. You know, people think, play the guy. You got the guy. You got the guy. No, what he wants is that the level doesn't drop, and I've seen that through the
Thank
season.
you.
Our level hasn't dropped. We play against EPL, we're good. We play against Champions League, we're good as well. If we're shit in the Premiership, we're shit in the EPL, but we're still eking out the wins and the draws. Do you know what I mean? You feel
Thank
so. You feel me?
you. Thank
Changed
you.
everything. We don't drip. We don't drop. I didn't even think about it today. I didn't think, will the guys be able to respond? And look at how they responded. See all these Arsenal fans just shadowing our broadcast,
No,
just
no.
mouthing rubbish.
I'll say something. This is why when everybody is saying, "Oh, it's Spence. He's not giving Spence a chance. He's not giving Spence a chance." He wants everybody to be on the same fitness,
Bam!
energy level.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is what, and Don Conte will not, and I repeat the third time, will not have any other negotiations on that. There's no negotiation on that
At
level,
all.
fitness level. Watch his interview with Terry Henry. You will run and you will run, and if you don't run and you don't do what I ask you to do, I'll either shoot you or I'll kick you out of my club.
Abby?
And there is no negotiation. I've never seen Harry Kane this fit before. Even under
Yeah.
Mauricio Pochettino, I've never seen Harry Kane this fit.
No, he's fitter than normal because he plays both roles as well, which is what he wasn't doing
Exactly.
back in the day.
And
He was a striker.
I'll
Now
tell
he
you
comes
something.
back and becomes an Ericsson.
Harry Kane this season, 9 goals in 9 EPL games, and they're
Exactly.
telling me that Haaland cannot tie Harry Kane's boots.
At
And I'll
all.
repeat it. Haaland cannot tie Harry Kane's shoelace and bootlaces.
Right. So that's a controversial statement. What do you guys think?
No, it's
Leave
not.
your
Can I
comment
finish?
in the comment
I'll
section
finish
below.
it. Can I finish
Haaland
it?
can't tie Harry
Wait.
Kane's bootlaces. Right.
I'll tell you what, I will finish it. I will support it. I will support it. Because you're saying it's a controversial statement. It's not just about scoring goals. It's not just about scoring goals. What does Harry Kane do for the team? Look at the way he comes back. He creates. Okay,
Exactly.
That's why they price out 50
I'll
million.
give it to Haaland. I'll give it to Haaland. Goal scoring is a machine. Is a phenomenon. Speed is a phenomenon. But come back, hold the play, create goals, create space and everything. Harry Kane can play just in front of the midfield. Haaland cannot play there. And then
At
Harry
all.
Kane can go in the same game, and be a striker. Haaland cannot do the two.
Right. So
Um,
therein lies the conundrum for
Huh?
anybody who's playing both players, right? So if you say that your job is to score goal for the team, right, and it's strictly to score goal for the team, now on the
Fine.
basis on the basis of that, right, some people would argue that look, he scored 20 goals in the season. We haven't even played 10 matches. You know, that's phenomenal, right? Okay, in comparison to your peers, right? I mean, okay, they play some lovely stuff for the rest of the team, but they don't score as much as you. So how do you? So you might want to. Some people would argue that okay, maybe Kane is a more complete player, or he has grown into a more complete player with more experience, and the way he's been deployed in the team. Now, will City's style suit that sort of play? And even if it suited that sort of play, would Haaland be able to do that? Because there are other players in the team that do all that sort of thing anyway. So I guess for us, I think Kane has evolved on his own to create those opportunities. I mean, of course, Conte has some work to do in that, and also because of the good understanding he has. In particular, if you know if you notice this, right? If you don't, if you okay, everyone says, "Oh, Kane and Son have this understanding."
Telepathic
Yeah.
understanding, yes.
However, if you look at the matches we played so far, right? He's done it with Bentancur. He's done it with Holjberg. You know, he's done it with Kulusevski. That whenever he picks up the ball from the front of the back four, he looks for someone on the break on the right hand side or on the left hand side, and he just pings the perfect ball to them. You know, they run onto it, cross, boom, goal. Now that was so evident today. I mean, the way they scored the second goal. I mean, pass to Bentancur, pinpoint cross, amazing assist. You know what I mean? And I think the other thing I loved about it was the salute to the Marine from Bentancur.
Yeah.
That was
Holjberg.
sorry, from Holjberg rather. That
Yeah.
was quite
Holjberg.
fitting. Yeah, that was quite fitting because I mean he was only in that position because he had the chance to move forward.
I found that emotional.
We lost you for a second there. What did you say? Can you repeat that?
I said I found that salute quite emotional.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that
I found it quite. I was touched, and I was emotional about that salute. And I think I was even more touched and emotional with that salute because of Holjberg's face. He was very emotional. I was more emotional about it than after last week's victory with Lloris holding the shirt. This one touched me more. It touched me more. Holjberg himself was almost in tears with that when he was a military precision salute, and I was very touched and by it. I was very touched by it.
Salute to the Marine. May Ventrone's soul rest in peace. Ben.
Amen.
Ben. Now,
Yeah.
we're 1 point off Arsenal. Bear in mind they have one game in hand. Tomorrow, Liverpool face Manchester City travel to Liverpool, and Arsenal travel to Leeds away. Now, some people say to me that they're going to drop points tomorrow. Is this our chance to close the gap on these folks?
Before.
Is this our chance to close the gap?
This is why they were looking at all their fans were busy watching our match today. Believe me, they were busy watching our match and hoping we will drop points because believe you me, when Arsenal is firing like this, they don't want Tottenham near them. They want to win this league and win it and be laughing at us. But they know we have a manager. They know they have Pep Light as manager. Arteta is just shining now. His star is shining now, but I'm not wishing his team bad. Don't get me wrong, but I'm expecting the Arsenal fans to come back
I
sometime
am.
in the middle of the season to start to abuse their manager again. They could begin abuse that guy. Tell him say the guy get to go and earn him badges. Watch and see. But as for tomorrow's match, Leeds, I think there's going to be a surprising upset there. I think that it's not the first time. It's not going to be Arsenal's first loss, so they don't have to worry about being invincible. But this loss where they go lose against Leeds, I can see it coming somehow. So yeah,
Okay.
we'll be 1 point behind them. Tomorrow we'll be 1 point behind them. Still, the pressure will be on, and maybe City will be about because Liverpool does a mess at the moment. So City should blow them away. I don't see unless they go and get money back. I don't see Liverpool doing anything against City. You know, they disrespected that guy big time. So now their punishment is coming.
No.
If you're joining us
Can I say
time, this is
something?
Common Use TV. Common Use Spurs TV is everything about Spurs with a Nigerian bent to it. So yeah, if you need to, leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends and relatives, and leave your comment here as well. Now we're reviewing the match between Tottenham and Everton. Took place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs came away with 2 goals to go 1 point behind Arsenal and 11 points with City, but third on goals difference. We remain third. This time around, about level on points. Now, is this where we should begin to be optimistic, or just cautiously optimistic? Very optimistic or cautiously optimistic? What do you guys think? Now, I say that for 2 reasons. Now, in the first place, if you look at the team seems to be finding its rhythm rather slowly. Today was evidence of the flexibility that Conte can show in what you might call match situations. Whereby he makes changes that are telling and result in the outcome that we expect. Bringing on Bissouma, okay, it probably wasn't rocket science, but he had, like I said, he had other options. He could have brought on Gio, he could have brought on Moura, but he chose that option, and that just worked a perfect treat. For a team that was sitting back, we kind of opened them up at will and over and over and over again. So that was, I think, for me, that was a master stroke on Conte's part. Ben, you want to say something?
Yeah. I think it was a master stroke by him, bringing in Bissouma to make us 5 across the park. Every time they lob the ball into our midfield, just handled it, and I say that would be Bissouma. I could see him attacking every ball that came into close to the back 4. He was sending it back out again, and no, for me it was a master stroke. So there's some that would say that Conte still needs to earn his coin, but believe me, for 15 mil, this guy is doing a great job. He's got his own mind. See, all these fans think that they're mini managers. If they were managers, they would go and get their badges. They're not. But they just, as a fan, you just want to win every time. But you think winning is like playing fantasy football. It's not like fantasy. It's not fantasy football at all. This manager sees these players and knows what they can and can't do on the day, and he analyzes it with the players they're going to play against as well. So he knows what he's doing. He played Richarlison because he wanted them to be preoccupied with an ex-team member of theirs, knowing that they knew what he could do and to hassle them. So he was there for the nuisance effect. So I from looking at it from the outside, I think that he wanted to give them a double whammy, give them Richarlison in the front 3, and then switch to middle 5 and really pepper them, and it worked. To me, it worked. I can't say, but there's some that would say no. Conte he just nalog where Kozam. Well, he's the one getting paid. If you get paid and get that kind of luck, then you take it. So yeah, it was good.
Absolutely.
It was good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're joining us for the first time, this is Common Use Spurs TV. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you're watching via Facebook, leave your comments in the comment section as well. Or if you're watching from YouTube, we're live on both channels simultaneously. And yeah, it's great to have you on. Leave your name and I'll say where you're calling from or joining us from. Yeah, so let's just talk about Bissouma for a minute, right? For me, Bissouma.
Right? Sorry, can I say something then?
Yes, yes, of course.
People are saying, I said it at the very beginning of the season. The one thing Spurs have got to do this season is to be more consistent. Of the top three teams that beat us last season, that came above us last season, only Chelsea beat us. We beat City twice, we drew with Liverpool twice, and Chelsea beat us twice. And I said one thing, we've got to be more, and I was very adamant about this, to improve, we've got to be more consistent about the teams we should be beating.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what we've been doing this season. And, all the pundits in the world always say the Liverpools, the Chelseas, the Man Uniteds, the Cities, they grind out results. They grind out results. And that's what champions do. That's what great champions do. But when Spurs do it, even the Arsenals, when they were winning the EPLs and everything, that's what the great even when they play badly, they grind out results. We've been grinding out results, but they've been telling us that we're lucky. So when I say these pundits, that I don't bother with them. I bother with my own punditing. If you've noticed and you watch us, our performances have been more solid game after game. They've not been completely solid. We've not been fully fluent like we were towards the end of last season. But we're getting there. We are getting there. Because Conte has started with one thing. His trademark, solid defending. Solid defending. You win games with solid defending. And then you come through. You grind out the results. And you grind out the results with your fitness, with your shape, with your discipline, and with keeping to your shape. And you keep to your shape through your fitness and through your discipline. Because when you're not fit, everybody just goes haywire. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. So you have to start with the fundamentals. And that is where we've gone to. People don't realize. You've gone to the basics and the fundamentals from the beginning of this season. And that's where we're coming from. And that's why I said in the next few games, when we're fully, he starts to unleash his full first team, which he has not yet done. Teams are going to be in shock. I give it to them. I give it to those red ones from across the road. They're playing some good football. They are playing some really serious good football. But when they lose, and they will lose again.
All right. Talking of the guys of the road, Tubosun in the comments says that Gunnar will wait for Tottenham Day for another 20 years. I think longer if you ask me, probably another 40 years if you ask me. But hey, it's not going to happen again in my lifetime. I hope. So that's for me is what's going to happen. Yes. Come on, Spurs TV is live on YouTube. It's live on Facebook. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Join the conversation as we review the match between Tottenham and Everton. I was saying earlier on about Bissouma being immense today. I mean, I know Bissouma came in and he more or less was a game changer in that role in the midfield. He was passing balls, he was breaking up play, he was just everything, and for me, that was absolutely fantastic. What do you guys think? Ben?
So run that by me again. I lost the audio.
Bissouma was immense today, and he came in and he just sort of controlled that midfield. He stayed back, allowed Rodrigo and Bentancur to move forward, and as even Tubosu mentioned in his comments earlier on, to say that look, that was a game changer for us today, and that we should play more of three-man midfield in the future.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely right. I mean, the introduction of Bisuma for me was a masterstroke. It just changed our game. Everyone was saying it. All the commentators were saying it. Bisuma changed our game, and he did. You know, I can't even. I mean, I could wax lyrical about how how he appears in the matches as well. It was like he's been waiting to be unleashed, and as Conte said, Conte was waiting for the right moment. Falabi said it. Falabi said it. We can't let any team player be carried in that team. Even Emerson, I hear what people say, but at least he has no. At the moment, he doesn't have any skills, right? He appears not to have any skills to all of us. But what does he do with our man Moses? What did he do with Perisic? I think that what
Mm-hmm.
Conte is doing is
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to make this guy into something that's going to shock everyone. Everyone will shut up. He
Mm-hmm.
won't be like Sissoko. In Sissoko's own, we suddenly thought that we had a striker with Sissoko, and after he went back to where he was, that was a flash in the pan. I think what he's going to do with Royal, he's going to make him into a phenomenal winger. I believe he's going to do that. But that notwithstanding, I think that he won't let any player come into that team that isn't 100%, because if you fail, then it's going to hit you and you'll be out of the match, even out of the game even longer. So the best thing is to bring them in when they can shine. You know, look at what's happened to what's his name, Sessegnon. Sessegnon is brilliant now. He's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
He's not afraid. He plays his matches. He gets his applause. Comes off. Perisic comes in, does the same thing. So on the left, we have like for like. Do you know what I mean? And I think Doherty, my friend, Doherty was too much today. It
yeah.
was much.
He was
You know.
awesome.
He was all over. He was all over the shop today. He was at them every opportunity. He actually got them 3 yellow cards, didn't he? You know, every time
Yes,
he went
Yes,
now,
he
forward,
did.
they hacked him. You know, every time
but
he
you
went
know
forward, they
now.
hacked him.
But I'll tell you something. You're saying Sessegnon is not afraid, he's ready. But he's learned that from Perisic.
Of
Yeah,
course, of course.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to say. He has learned that in preseason from Perisic, and Perisic teaching. Do you know how many hours after official training that Perisic and Sessegnon trained together on their own?
I won't put it past him.
Oh
I would
yes,
not put it past
Perisic. This is one of Don Conte's instructions to Perisic. You teach this guy. You teach this young boy, this young man. You teach him of the player you have become, that I
him.
trained you to be.
Uh-huh. And when you're gone,
Yes,
when you're gone, we bring you Udogi.
this is what
Udogi
we
is
will
going to be
have.
phenomenal.
absolutely.
This is
Now,
what he has told him. And
this.
Doherty today was the first day he has really shone since his injury.
Yeah, yeah. I think he played really well today. I mean, Doherty was quite really really good today. I mean,
He was he was phenomenal.
yeah, he
And
got into good positions and
and apart from that, he was not afraid to go into tackles. He was
absolutely.
fully fit. He was fully fit, and he was energetic. He was energetic and he was brave. If you ever listen to Don Conte and his press review, he always says the key word for him is brave, brave. And there are many forms of being brave, but Doherty was brave today.
Absolutely. If you're joining us for the first time, hit the like button, leave your comments, subscribe, and join us on Common Use Spurs TV. Thank you so much for being here. We continue the conversation. Join the conversation on YouTube and on Facebook. Um, we were talking about how immense the new entrants who came into the team today actually played. I mean, let's even talk about the records that fell today. Today was Harry Kane's 400 league game, 400 games. I'm sorry for Tottenham. 400 games he's played. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and he scored 258 goals. You know, he's only what eight
Is
off.
it 258 or
Yeah,
259?
258. You know, it's 266 is Greaves' record. You know, so I mean, it's only 8 is within sight of being Tottenham's all-time top scorers. I mean, he's already a legend at Tottenham. He's already a legend. I mean, an
He's got Shitty to thank for that.
Of course. I mean, it's an absolute legend.
He's got who?
City. He's got Shitty to thank for that. That he managed to finish to get close to Greasy. Because if City didn't come and fuck up, then he would probably gone somewhere else.
No,
but City just came in there and messed up.
He's got Levy. He's got Levy. Levy was the one that stuck with. No, I'm not coming. I'm not selling beyond the unless you come with this price. I'm sorry, it's not City. I'm sorry. That one I disagree. It's Levy that stuck with this price tag and said, unless you come with this price tag, no way. So it's not City. It's Levy.
I hear you. I was just trying to be funny. Because if
and go to your forum and be funny. Go to your forum and be funny.
And I mean, Harry Kane just loves scoring. He loves scoring against Everton, doesn't he? This is 13th goal in 14 games, right? In Premier League appearances against Everton, and in that time he scored 6 braces. You know, so I mean, yeah, he really loves scoring against Everton. You know,
they say is our wife.
I know, right?
Wait, who doesn't HK love scoring against? He's got the most North London derby goals.
Yep.
You know, he's got the most goals against United. Who doesn't the guy love scoring against?
No, Kane has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's just a beast for us. It's been a beast for us. If you could join us for the first time, leave your comments below. Click on the like button and join the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're looking forward to the next game against Manchester United away on Wednesday evening. I think Wednesday evening. What time is the kickoff? I mean, who knows what time the kickoff is?
I think it's 7:30.
7:30. Yes. So that's we're looking forward to that. That will be interesting. You know, where it's hang on, is that right? Yes, 8:15 actually. 8:15 is the kickoff.
Oh, is it 8:15?
Yeah,
8:15 kickoff.
Yeah, kickoff. That's right. Yeah. On Wednesday, the 19th of October. We're looking forward to that. Join us then. I think we probably start at about 10:45 will be the live match review. Yeah. So yes, it's been great having you guys here today. Ben, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And Falabi,
it's always been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Brilliant as always. Brilliant as always. You know.
And a salute to the Marine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a salute to the Marine.
Salute to the Marines. Yes.
Soji, thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. Ben, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
And please extend to everybody on the forum, and especially to Chuma. I've missed him. I've missed bantering with him. Yeah. And Ben, you know, it's always a pleasure seeing you from the States and everything. I mean,
come on, you Spurs.
Ben, you make a great effort because your time zone of your 6 hours behind, and you're watching the game and you're ready to contribute and everything. I lift my hat off to you, Ben. All due respect. Thank you. You know, so thank you for inviting me. We're on the same time zone. Worst comes to the worst, I'm ahead of you and everything, which will happen within the next few days. Mm-hmm. But thank you for always having me and inviting me. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Let's go. I believe in